Essentially, Tatiana, what's the formula you have to use to find the absolute value of a complex number? Pythagorean theorem. Good. Because the definition of absolute value of real numbers and complex numbers is distance away from 0. Okay, so Felipe, what's the absolute value of 7? 7, because it's 7 units away from 0, right? Alright, what's the absolute value of negative 7, Kyler? Also 7, because it's also 7 units away from 0. Well, these are complex numbers, but we're still looking for the distance from 0. So remember, a complex number has a real piece and an imaginary piece. Okay, I'm going to actually look at the first graph that's down here, because then we can graphically see what we're talking about when we mean distance from 0. So on number 11, everyone look at number 11. Hold off on your green sheet. You'll have time in just like a couple minutes. The rest of the time is yours. Okay? Number 11 on the gray worksheet. It just says graph each number on the coordinate plane. Negative 3 plus 4i. It's very similar to graphing a point, negative 3 comma 4, but it's a complex number. So we have two different axes. The horizontal axis is the real axis. The vertical axis is the imaginary axis. Who thinks they can tell me how to graph negative 3 plus 4i? Dylan? Just tell me. To the which direction? To the left, negative 3, and then? Okay, you're warm. It's just like graphing x's and y's. We have a left and right movement and up and down movement. So I go left, negative 3, then we go up 4, because that would be 4i. So this is 1i, 2i, 3i, 4i. So it's only 1 point. We go left 3, up 4, and plot the point. Now this distance from 0 would be the absolute value. Well, that distance is a diagonal, so we don't necessarily know the distance, but we can drop a perpendicular down to the x-axis, and it creates a right triangle. And the distance from 0 is the hypotenuse of that right triangle. Pythagorean theorem works, guys. I need to find these pictures. But when I first moved into my house, like 5 years ago, I was trying to, I like to do things myself, so I decided I'm going to install shelves, and I'm going to do it myself. And so I got those wire shelves from Home Depot, wire shelf with that brace that goes to the wall, diagonally to the wall. And the first set I installed, they're like this. Bleh. I didn't even try putting anything on it because it would just roll right off. They weren't good. And then I was like, wait, the wall and the shelf and the brace creates a right triangle. So I took a picture of my really poor shelves that were like this. Bleh. And that was my before shot. And then I measured the, what am I talking about? The shelf length, and I measured the brace length to find how long, where I needed to attach the brace to the wall, the distance from the shelf to the bottom of the brace, to find that distance using the Pythagorean theorem. Calculated out mathematically, measured precisely, drilled the hole in exactly where Pythagorean theorem told me to drill it in, and when I put the level on top, it was perfect. That little bubble? Perfectly in the middle. Not kind of in the middle. Perfectly in the middle. Somewhere I have a before and after shot. But that was 5 years ago. So I don't know where they are. They're somewhere. Pythagorean theorem works. Distance from 0. Using Pythagorean theorem. What is the Pythagorean theorem? Good. And which letter is the hypotenuse? C. Oh, that is yellow. I can't see that. C. Okay? So, if this is, say, A, how long is A? 3. Excellent. Actually, since we just want C, I'm going to square root it. A squared plus B squared equals just regular C. Might as well do that right now. Who's whistling? Someone in the hallway? Stop. Shh. We're not on the Hunger Games. Now I got everyone going. Oh my goodness. I can't even whistle. You're all making me jealous. How tall is of this triangle? 4. Even though it's like 4i on the imaginary axis, it's just 4 units. So we're going to use, just drop the I, we don't need that, equals 4 squared. So parentheses, the next one's first. 3 squared is 9, plus 4 squared is 16, so we're taking the square root of 25. Now normally, square root of 25, we would say plus and minus 5. But when we're dealing with length, does it make sense to say I went negative 5 feet? No. So we just use the principal root, which is the positive 5. Okay? So on the ones above, numbers 1 through 10, it's asking you to find the absolute value. What you're finding is distance from 0. So you use the Pythagorean theorem. And here's the version already solved out for just C. That's all you have to do. And then the other one, say graph. So now you know how to graph. You do the real part, and then you go up and down for the imaginary part. Okay? So if you're on exponential worksheet, finish that up. If you're done with that, move on to this worksheet on absolute value of complex numbers. And if you finish them before class is over, then you have no homework. We have no videos tonight, so you just have no homework.